together again. Settle yourselves, dear ones. Release anything from your day. Allow yourself to settle into the present moment. In mind, body, and spirit. Receive the energies from your Creator bathing over you. The gold. Imagine it filling you in, all the way down to your toes, recharging you, realigning you, allowing you to feel and know your connection, and to be fully present in your bodies. Your Earth Mother will receive anything that you release out to your grounding cord and transmute it for other positive purposes. Some people think that, oh, I can't release stuff and send it down to the mother for she can't handle it. Do you think that the being that has given life to all on this world can't handle some lower vibrational energies that you're releasing out of your small physical forms as though you are fleas on the back of a dog? She can handle it. She can transmute it. And so remember your connection to your Earth Mother. For you are all intimately connected, not only to Gaia, but to your Creator. For you are in these bodies that are made from the earth. But your spirit, the higher, we shall say, the greater part of you, is well beyond these forms. It is just a small portion, borrowing these shells to have an experience down on this world. And you know this intuitively. And we ask you to remember this so that the next time you feel as though you are not worthy or good enough or smart enough or whatever it is that you have been programmed, that is that mass consciousness that we mentioned in a previous session, realize that there is only a small portion of you here in this physical form. And if you even said 10%, then the other 90% has nothing to do with this physical form, and that is the greater part of you, and it is limitless. And reconnect to that. Remember your divinity. Remember you are blessed, you are whole, you are creators. You are source. There is no difference. It is though a drop of water from an ocean is that part of the ocean. It is still the ocean. It's just a drop from the ocean. If you think of it that way, you are just a drop, a speck, a spark of Creator, who is the massive ocean that is limitless. And so we ask you to shift your perspective in your daily lives so that you do not get caught up in the mundane weeds, as you call it, because it trips you up, it weighs you down, and then your vibration goes into lower, we shall say, frequencies, and you feel bad. And you feel as though you have lost your connection. You never do. You just feel disconnected because you don't feel happy or content or peace. And so we ask you to simply, as so many have been asking you, pay attention how you feel, but it truly does come down to this one simple principle. But it takes an awareness of consciousness and a perspective shift. Because if you're not used to paying attention to how you feel, because many on your world, you have been taught to ignore your feelings, to suppress them, to hide them, as though, especially the men are, men can't cry, or whatever it is, something stupid as that. It is a belief pattern that has been put into the masses, and you have all accepted it. To some degree, the majority have accepted it. But just realize that there are so many limiting belief patterns that you have, and until you identify them and say, I'm done with that, I don't care what other people think. I'm only going to make sure that I feel as good as I can, because that is my primary role in this form. I cannot be a creator of my own divine reality to create something magnificent if I'm walking around unconsciously creating like a zombie and programmed like the masses. And so we stress this because we're trying to shake you up a bit, not vibrationally, but to truly make you aware that you have a conscious choice every day as to whether to go with the mass consciousness and do what everyone else is doing, and we shall say live lives that, the medium's thinking, her parents and many of your parents probably said, what is it? You live, you die, you pay taxes, something like that. Those sayings, they have been programmed into you to simply be someone who works for someone else as opposed to living for themselves. Living to live, experiencing life, creating life, as opposed to the mundane 9 to 5 type of thing. And most people are programmed, as you know, and even this medium was in that state for many years until she jumped ship. She took a leap of faith because she knew she was supposed to be doing something else, and she has never looked back even when it got a little bumpy. And all of you have had similar experiences where you take a leap of faith because you know you need to change things in your lives. You know that if you keep doing the same thing, you're going to keep getting the same results. And if you're not happy with the results, then something must change. And only you can do that consciously. Does this make sense? Good. Have we shaken you up a little bit and waken you up a little bit? Made you think a little, huh? But we want you to literally understand how powerful you are with every choice you make. You are only limited by the fact that you choose to limit yourself by your beliefs about yourself. And most of those beliefs that you have been programmed into you, and the masses agree with them also, because you have been taught from young to live in such a manner, as opposed to creating from a space of joy. Imagine, you have all seen how the imaginations of children have no limits. And at some point, the adults, the teachers, the parents, what happens? Most of the time, eventually, you're too old for that. You need to stop doing that. You need to grow out of that. And so eventually they get their creative freedom. They start losing that connection because they've been told it's wrong. And they value the person in authority, the parent, the teacher, whoever, and even though it doesn't feel right to them, because they are so young, their rational ability is not yet developed. So they just eventually cave in, as you might call it. They do as they're told because they don't want to rock the boat. They want to fit in. And that fitting in is mass consciousness. If everyone fits in, then you are all doing the same thing. No one is thinking out of the box. No one is inventing, creating, being inspired. And your world is not growing as a consciousness, as a race, as a species, as a individual even. And so the children are so aware now with the frequencies that many of them don't accept that programming the way perhaps most of you did when you were young and your parents did that to you. They know better. Their vibrations are already more in alignment with their creator, with their growth, with their evolution, and with the vibrations on this planet and where we're headed, where you are all headed, that they know differently. They may appear on some level to agree and to cooperate, but when they're alone, away from their parents, they know better. And they still question. They don't like getting yelled at any more than anyone would like getting yelled at. So they conform to a degree, yet they have not lost their connection. Most of them. So we ask you, for those that are around the children, help them to maintain their conscious connection, their freedom, their spirit of creation, imagination, joy, and tap into that if you are around them, because they will help rekindle it within yourselves, especially if it has been dormant within any of you for a very long time, wondering how to connect to your inspiration, your joy, your sense of freedom, your sense of purposeful creation. Just observe children playing in a playground for an hour, and your vibration will feel differently when you leave, because they are completely in the now moment, living from a space of joy. And many on your world, not only are they not living in the now moment, but they have completely lost touch with joy and peace and laughter and happiness and silliness and all of those vibrations that put a smile on your face, that remind you of your connection to Source, that make you feel good, and all variations of feeling good. Watch a funny movie and see how much better you feel after laughing. Was it so hard that your belly hurts? Or that your cheeks hurt? Your vibration will be completely different. And you will be able to perceive differently if you can maintain not the laughter for a long period of time, but stay in the feeling that it gave you as a result of the experience. You have experiences throughout your lives. Pay attention to how those experiences feel within your body. Not make you think. Because many cannot, we'll say, pay attention or understand what they're thinking, because there's so many thoughts, as others have mentioned here, You think so many thoughts in a second or two that you can't keep track. Yet your physical form lets you know if you are hot or cold or in a state of hesitation or anger or frustration or peace. You instantly know how you feel and what emotions evoke those feelings. For your emotions are different than feelings. Your emotions come from the thoughts. The feelings are the physical feelings in your body that go with those emotions. And so when you have the lower vibrational emotions, you feel lethargic, you feel depressed, sad, but you feel it within your body. You feel heavy, you feel exhausted, those type of things. Do you understand the difference between the emotions and the feelings now? Yes? So it should be easier to pay attention, yes, because you know how you feel. Even right now, you know how some people say, oh, I'm hungry. Perhaps, but that is a physiological sensation, not an emotional feeling component. So as you go about your days, simply pay attention to how you feel, because your vibration is your gauge. Your vibration is your feeling. Your vibration is your transmission that you are sending out into the universe, saying, give me more experiences that make me feel like this. And so, as you pay attention to your feelings, you will begin to pay attention to what you are attracting, what you are manifesting, what synchronicities occur in your lives, because you will get experiences and people and opportunities and situations that give you similar feelings to what you are primarily transmitting with the most intensity. So the more powerful the emotion, it has a more intense transmission. Make sense? It is like turning up the volume on your stereo. Yes, you can have a rock and roll song on that you're jamming to, as you might call it. But what happens with the teenagers? It's not good enough. They have to crank it up loud and really get into it. And perhaps you do as well in your cars. It is the same, except that for you, you are the song. You are the jam session, or the classical peaceful music, or whatever it is. And so whatever vibration you are feeling, that is what you get. And if you can be at peace, you will just have more things that remind you of peace or beauty, like flowers. You start being appreciative for the beauty of the flowers in this season, blooming. The baby birds, this medium is enjoyed watching as they grow. Little surprises like that. And so, pay attention and use whatever is around you in your environment to shift your vibration to appreciation and gratitude, for those vibrations truly assist you in bringing in whatever it is that you intend to create. Because when you are intending an experience in your lives, even if you're not quite sure exactly what it is, you know how you want to feel. And so if you know how you want to feel, then you need to feel that way predominantly throughout your day. And then because that is not necessarily the intensity of your radio station, but it is the predominant signal, duration-wise, then the universe will bring more experiences, especially if you're in appreciation and gratitude, more things for you to be grateful for and appreciative for. Those gifts and surprises, those synchronicities, the things that line up, the things that seem really fun and cool and wow, could you imagine that happen? Wow, that was kind of lucky, or this or that. That is how it happens. You are creating it. You are essentially giving the universe, we'll say, you're creating a space for allowing things to come into your experience, if that makes more sense. For as you focus on primarily a vibrational feeling, consciously using your thoughts to create that transmission from your body and your mind, you become a tuning fork. And what happens when one tuning fork gets around another tuning fork? It makes the other ones vibrate, doesn't it? If they resonate with those frequencies, it doesn't matter if they're all the way across the room, they start to resonate. If you tap on one, others start to resonate, because like attracts like. It is similar with you. Technically, really not much different, for you are tuning forks. You are frequency, you are energy, you are vibration. And so, pay attention to whatever frequency you are tuned into by your feelings. Does this make more sense as a visual for you? Yes, you okay? Yes. The medium was just thinking, what happens when they're playing a piano and they are playing a beautiful piece of music, and even if you don't know piano or musical chords or anything, somehow don't you know when someone hits a wrong key? Yes, you understand? It just doesn't resonate, right? You feel like, ooh, something went wrong. That's when you know that something is out of alignment. That little ooh. So it doesn't have to be a major, we shall say, vibrational shift from pleasant to something unpleasant, or higher vibration to lower vibration. You simply go from feeling as good as you can to, ooh, something just tripped me up. It's like, ooh, something just was sour in my mouth, or other sayings that you have, but it's off key. You just feel something is like, ooh, that was just wrong. Something's just off with that. So when you have that sort of reaction to something physically, it's instinctually, it's intuitive. You don't sit there and go, that just didn't sound right. No, it's just you instantly know when something is off. Yes? If that can happen with you listening to music, realize that even music is vibrational frequency. The harmonies sound good because they are in harmony. The frequencies resonate with each other. And the composers understand this. And so they write the music to align with higher vibrational frequencies that actually make you feel in alignment. This medium likes to listen to some of the classical music because that's how it makes her feel. Just peaceful. And then sometimes, like the rest of you, she wants to listen to something that would make her dance and move her body and smile and sing or whatever. But understand that just like every piece of music has a vibration, and there's many musics out there that have very low vibrations, and we ask you to avoid those. And most people who are, we'll say, more aware, instantly know when music has a lower vibration. It has a tone to it. It has an undertone, we will say. and it doesn't make you feel good. So don't listen to it. But there are many on your world that are listening and playing and vibrating at these frequencies because they're becoming the predominant frequency. Because they're choosing to focus on the messages and perhaps the people behind those sort of music. It's just another example as a way to be in alignment with something, whether you're choosing it or not. But for those that are listening to a certain type of music, they are, all of you, you choose to turn your radio to a different station or not, don't you? It's not random. And so it is a conscious choice. And so just as the way you tune your radio to a different channel when you hear a song you don't like and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going until you find a song you do like that makes you feel good and that you enjoy, it's the same with your day-to-day experiences. Keep looking for thoughts or things that make you feel a little bit better until you get to that point. Because it may be that, okay, I was going along and I was in this vibration like this one song, to use that analogy, and then something happens in your day and it doesn't feel good, and then so you're looking for some thought. In the radio scenario, you're going to change the channel. So you keep changing the channel, you keep looking for another thought that makes you feel a little bit better until you find it. And then what do? You crank it up. Right? You focus on it. You allow that new song, that new thought, whatever that thought happens to be, to change your vibration, to feel better, and then you put all of your intention and energy into that conscious effort and ride it for as long as you can. Does this make sense with the radio and the song analogy? Yes. Good. We always try to, we do not try, we do, That is, this medium's laughing with the Yoda. Do not try, or is it Jedi do not try, they do. From your Star Wars movies. So understand that we always work with this medium, even though these examples are not hers. We're simply using things that all of you do. And she has done also. She never knows what we're going to talk about. It always surprises her. But we always come up with different ways to help you see and apply the same information. Because sometimes people get it the first try, sort of like, now this medium's laughing. She's thinking of skiing. Sometimes you get down the slope the first time, and sometimes you don't. You fall 100 times. And eventually you get down there maybe the third or fourth time without falling over. But you keep trying. So be persistent, be patient with yourselves. And sometimes these messages will sink in the first time. And for other people, they have to hear it in a whole different type of ways and angles and perspectives and examples until it sinks in. So that is why we continue to focus on, we shall say, the same type of information, but from different angles, different ways of looking at it. Because some people, it will sink in, like some people like apples, other people like oranges, that sort of thing. And just know that everyone is getting whatever information they need, and you are all building neural pathways within your brains to help this information become, we shall say, knowledge base, knowledge bank, autopilot, which would be good. How many of you, and we already know this is all of you, go from your home to maybe your place of work or a place where you go often, and you don't even remember how you got there. You realize you were on autopilot. You have figured out the route and you don't even realize how you were driving. Yes?
Yes.
It is the same way. You don't think about how to tie your shoelaces and do other things. Maybe brush your teeth. It took you practice, but after a while, it became second nature. It became a knowledge bank. It became part of you. Like your name. You can never forget your name. If someone asks you your name, you don't hesitate. And the goal here is, think of it this way. There has been so much programming that is in that knowledge bank that does not serve you. And so, not only does some of that programming, you have to unravel yourselves, and just like a computer virus, you have to delete it. But first you have to seek it out and find out if it's there before you can delete it and uninstall it. And then once that's done, you start installing software, programs, mental processes, neural pathways, thought patterns that work for your highest good, that serve you, that empower you. And so we cannot unravel what is already in your thought patterns. You must do that work. That is your detective work. That is your inner work. But we can start to enforce building those neural pathways to help you begin to think and be aware and be more conscious of different perspectives about your own life, reality, and how you create. Does this make sense to you? Good. Well, we have done as we have been asked this night. None other wishes to speak briefly. Our blessings to all of you. I am here, tending to all of you now. I have been with you for some time now, assisting, you could say, in the background. I assist with awareness of compassion for self. This medium is trying to figure out who I am, and she does not know. I seem familiar, but not. It is the first time I have spoken through in this manner. I am tending to all of you now with my team of sorts. There are many. Helping to use the baby bird analogy, fluff up your feathers. For some of you, the previous speaker ruffled your feathers a bit, shook you up, loosened up some vibrations that do not serve you. And so now we are working to help you with some release work, some cleansing. And so allow the gentle ray of silver compassion for yourself to bathe over you during this process. We ask you to stay in a non-judgment frame of mind. Be the observer when we have these sessions and you learn new concepts, and perhaps a speaker hits a nerve, as you call it, with something that is mentioned as part of the lesson, the teachings. It is simply, remember, an experience. So if you can maintain a non-judgment state and have compassion for yourself, you maintain a higher state of perspective from what you are feeling, what you may be thinking, and from that space of compassion, a bit of detachment from, we shall say, being in the weeds of it, you end up raising your awareness. It is all a game of sorts. And the key is to not take things so seriously about yourselves. Laugh more. Smile more. Enjoy your life more. Understand whatever occurred in your past were experiences that got you to this present moment. Learn whatever it was that you were meant to learn from those experiences, to raise your awareness, to grow, to evolve, for they all served a purpose. And this medium has said and reminded from one of her guides once said to remind her, when she was going through a bumpy time, as you might call it, remember that there is no thing greater than you. So nothing is greater than you. You are a creator. And you are creating the experiences, even the unpleasant ones, dear ones, for the experience. You may not have created it consciously, but you transmitted the vibration that attracted it. So on some level, you did. And when you understand that everything that has ever occurred in your lives was because of the vibrational frequency you were transmitting by your feelings and whatever you were thinking, which make you feel a certain way. Some people might say, "Oh no, that's too much responsibility. I'd rather be a victim." But you are not here listening to these words because you want to be a victim. You are here because you are rebelling on some level from the victim mentality programming that you were given in your past. And you have raised your awareness with the comprehension that there is more to what you have been told. That you are more powerful than what you have been taught. And there is more to you than what you know or what you have learned. And so you are stretching your awareness, your consciousness, by rejecting thought patterns that you, by your awareness, have declared to the universe, this doesn't work for me anymore. I want something else. I'm still figuring out what I want, but I know I don't want this. So I'm going to focus on feeling better. And that's the first start. That's where everyone has to begin, from a state of awareness of what they don't want. Because until you identify what you don't want, you can't decide what you do want. Make sense? Many people think they know what they want, but what it is they keep talking about and focusing on what really they don't want, or the fact that they don't have what they want. Either way, it is the same vibration. And so they stay in this cyclical projection of their vibration, wondering why they get the same experiences, or similar, not exactly identical, but similar experiences in their lives. It is because they have not changed their vibration. They haven't learned, they haven't noticed the pattern. And one of the speakers, this medium's remembering from the previous lesson, mentioned, try to pay attention to your feelings and see what patterns there may be. And so patterns, not just in your words, in your feelings, but also in your life experiences. Many people we see, and some of you know this with your relationships. People break out of a relationship because it doesn't work with whoever they were with their mate. And yet they keep attracting the same type of person into their lives. And they keep saying, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, which means to the universe, I want this, I want this, I want this. Because no matter what words you say, your vibration is focused on this, whatever this is. The universe doesn't know the negative. You must focus on, I want this. Oh, I really want this. This is how I want to feel. And feel it. And imagine it. That is what you create from. If you focus on, I don't want this, I've had enough of this, I don't want this anymore, you're going to create more of that. And so that is why you are beginning to learn about patterns and awareness and feelings and how they are all connected. To begin to raise your awareness about what you are creating and what you are focusing on in your lives. Because you are creating your life. Your vibration is your point of creation. And your feelings are the easiest way to know what that point of creation is in alignment with. And so we want to work with you at this time to release some of whatever it is you are willing to release now. And so maintain your eyes closed, feet on the floor, and that grounding cord. And as we were speaking, anything that bubbled up to the surface, memories, experiences, perhaps you had an aha moment about a pattern that you have been living. Surrender that to Spirit now. You could imagine putting it up, writing it on a piece of paper, or putting the image on a piece of paper and putting it in a box. Everything you want to release, put it in a little box and imagine a bonfire of violet in the center of the room. And when you have released and identified all that you are willing to let go of, that no longer serves you, these old patterns, old ways of thinking, old programming, limiting belief patterns about self, When that little box or bucket or jar or whatever you want is complete, see yourself as though around a bonfire, for you all have sat around a bonfire and roasted marshmallows or that sort of thing. Toss it into the flame and watch it burn with the violet fire, which transmutes all negativity and turns it into love. And as you do this, there are others here in spirit. We will be assisting you with the rebalancing and the realignment work with your vibrations. Bathe yourself with this while you're doing this, with the silver ray of compassion, so that you have compassion for yourself, non-judgment, knowing that everything has been a learning process to get you to where you are now, in a higher state of awareness, in a conscious choice to say, I've had enough of this. I'm throwing this into the fire, and I'm ready for something better that I intend to create from this point forward. From a higher state of awareness, of compassion for self, compassion for others, for they are also on this journey, doing the best they can, just as you are. Allow yourself to be bathed now in the pink, the unconditional love from your Creator. And then finally allow yourselves to be bathed in the violet ray, to transmute any loosed up negativity, anything that was just enough to loosen up to be ready to release in your space from whatever you put in your bucket and threw in the fire. For just as when you pull a weed in your garden, it loosens the soil around it, and so have you done with this process. One release could have started the beginning of another. Not yet quite ready, so we will assist with the transmutation of whatever is yet to come to maximize the healing. See yourselves completely enveloped in violet and silver and pink, swirling and dancing throughout your whole being, your physical, emotional, mental, spiritual bodies all love you. Have them merge in your heart space, transmuting any lower vibrations, lack of love for self, from a space of compassion and love from your Creator. And now allow yourselves to be filled with the green. Bathe yourself in a green shower of light, allowing this healing vibration to go where it is needed, settling in your heart space to heal your heart, heal any lack of love for self, fill in any voids from the releasing. And now, complete the process with the gold. Bathe yourselves in gold, this divine wisdom from your Creator, with the intention that it goes wherever it is needed to fill any voids from the releasing. See yourselves as radiant golden light. And allow your heart space to expand, swirling with the green, the pink, the silver, and the gold in your heart center. Wisdom, compassion, love, and healing. And as you fill your heart space with these vibrations, radiate them outward to fill your entire being, as though you were blowing up a balloon and sending these vibrations out and getting bigger and bigger. Yet your balloon has no boundaries, so keep going and feel your expansive divine nature. And from this expanded state, allow yourselves to be beacons of light like a lighthouse. And we shall first, once you have been filled to capacity and irradiating and expanding and vibrating at every cell in your being with this higher vibrational light, in the center of the room, imagine, picture, intend anyone who needs healing, and also all your family members, pets, perhaps co-workers. Allow them to be bathed in these beautiful rays as you simply allow yourselves to receive and the rays to come out your heart space and bathe over those who appear. It can be people, pets. It could even be inanimate objects, places. Allow all to have healing, and then we shall expand from this space. Once the family and friends are complete, this medium is doing this as well, so continue for a moment. Allow the energies to focus through your heart space. Bathe over those that you love, but also perhaps those that you have some issues with. For from this higher expanded state, you can be in a state of compassion and non-judgment and send love and healing and compassion to others. It's much easier from your expanded state of awareness. And as you raise your vibration and change your vibration in relation to those that perhaps, we shall say, disrupt your vibration at times by your choice, remember. It changes the interaction between the two of you vibrationally, yet you are aware and they may not be. So as you choose a higher state of awareness, it is up to you to maintain the integrity of your vibration when you interact with those who in the past you would have allowed to disrupt your vibration. It will take some practice, but the more you work with cleansing your energies and releasing the old patterns, it will become much easier, and you will feel much more at peace around anyone that perhaps in the past could not even imagine such an example, such an experience or a feeling in their presence. And so the more you allow yourself to receive healing and release the denser energies, your vibration ripples out and affects others just by being the light that you are. And so from this state now, imagine your beautiful Earth Mother in the center of the room, in the center of the circle. Imagine you being these beautiful beacons of light like satellites around your world. And allow these energies to flow through your heart space as you continue to receive and just be the transmitter of the pink and the silver and the green and the violet and the gold. Allow them to go. Violet to transmute. And as things are transmuted, bathe everything in compassion, the silver. And from a state of compassion, bathe in divine love with the pink. And if areas need healing, the green. And then finally, everything bathed in gold for divine wisdom, connection to Source, Creator, assisting with oneness, remembrance of their divinity, allowing all souls, their higher selves, to accept what they are willing and ready to receive. The people, the animals, healing for the earth, the plants, the waters, transmuting negativity, disconnect from Source, old paradigms, bathe in the violet, releasing fear, transmuting it to love and compassion for all. There are many assisting with this process. Allow yourselves to be the beacons of light that you are, dear ones. Feel your expanded nature. Feel your vibration in your physical forms. And allow these healing rays to flow through you to help your world and all upon it. For you are consciously choosing to participate in the awakening process that is unfolding on your world at this time. You are here, you are listening to these words and receiving these energies because you are ready, because you asked for help from Spirit, and because you are aligned, open, connected, and full of hope, full of expectation of what is yet to come, knowing that all is well, all is unfolding in divine timing, in divine order, with a divine plan from your Creator. And as each soul awakens to their divinity, the mass consciousness awakens, and those old paradigms begin to fall away. In a new world that all have dreamed of, in unity and peace and cooperation and compassion for each other, at some point is already in process and will unfold in the years to come, in whatever timing is meant, whatever unfolds For spirit cannot interfere with the free will of the human race. And so we can guide, we can support, and hold the energies, assist with healing. But it is up to each individual to allow and to embrace this new expansion of self as they slowly awaken to their divinity, to their co-creative power consciously, find forgiveness for self and others, and begin to work and cooperate with each other as a unified whole. That is where this conscious effort is headed. The direction, we shall say, not propulsion, but direction. It will unfold in divine timing. But you are all participating and enjoying the benefits of this unfoldment process as you awaken. For it, as you know, it is much more pleasant to be awake than to be asleep. It is not easy to be awake, for you must deal with what happens when you were asleep. And as the previous speakers were mentioning, release the old paradigms. But as you awaken and become more aware, you begin to make more conscious choices for what serves your highest good, instead of what serves someone else's good and not yours. And by yours we mean everyone's, the masses, the planet. So much is unfolding on your world. Be joyful, be excited, appreciate being present for the unfoldment that you are participating in, and revel in the new vibrations that are coming, and just know that all are exactly as they are meant to be and will awaken in their own timing, just as each of you did. Those who are already awakened will be ready to assist those who are still not yet there. And so until those who are awakened get to the point who are ready to be supporters and assisting the masses who will awaken, continue doing your work, continue in your detective process of whatever those old paradigms that do not serve you, and remember that radio frequency that you transmit. Keep changing the channel until you find a frequency that you enjoy, from one moment, one experience to the next. Do the best you can, for that is all you can do. You are still learning, you are still experiencing, but that is how you grow. With each experience, you learn. And as you learn, you grow in wisdom. And from that wisdom, you can assist others who will be going through the same processes that you are going through now when it is their time. And so, at this point, make your gentle way back into the space. We thank you for the healing. We thank you for your assistance. We thank you for listening and being present for this work. Call on your team as you continue to release the old paradigm thought patterns, as you uncover them. Call on us and your guides to assist with compassion for self and non-judgment and forgiveness for each of those components will assist you to shift your vibration, and you will feel much better, you will feel lighter, and you will be in more gratitude, appreciation, and joy throughout your days ahead, dear ones. Take a few breaths as you slowly make your way back into your forms, your bodies in this space. Our blessings to all of you. Enjoy the rest of your night until we speak again. Enjoy living the life like an adventure. Enjoy creating your days, your weeks, your months and years ahead. Life is a game. See what you decide to make of it. Whatever vibration you put out, remember you will be given more that match. And so with this message, we ask you to focus on appreciation, gratitude for your presence here, and for each other for support. Blessings to each of you and all who may be listening. We will be there if they ask for help. And so it is, and so it shall be.